Hi! I will be showing you my handbag collection. The first category of bags are bags that you hang typically from your shoulder.
You saved a lot.
And quick, too.
And no more holding her purse. It's a European shoulder bag.
It was a gift.
Shopping less and saving more. Now that's progressive.
I'm going to start with these shoulder bags where you put stuff in from the top. And the first bag that qualifies for that is my favorite bag, which is the Celine Trio in small. I have 3 zippers on the top, which is super convenient. So this little bag holds a lot more than it looks, and it is totally my favorite. This one is not what it looks like. This is a $20 bag from Amazon that looks like it was made by Bottega Veneta. The reason I'm okay with this from an integrity standpoint is because there's no bag by Bottega Veneta that looks like this. This part though is a little fishy. This part is a little bit too similar to Bottega to make me fully okay with it, so I don't wear this very often. This circle can be opened up right here, and if you take this off completely, now you have a trendy short bag that still goes on the shoulder, but it doesn't hang as low. Unfortunately, this is not real leather, so it smells like it's not real leather. It's nice to know that an animal wasn't killed to make it, but can't really win. The final shoulder bag, this has a long strap, and a lot of people can wear this across their body. But my favorite way to wear this is actually, I don't have one right now, but it's to take a paper clip and clip it through one of these holes, attach it to the ring inside, and then in theory, this strap would be shorter by a half. Now the bag looks like this, and I carry it under here. For lack of a better term, it's under my armpit, and then it feels pretty secure. The other thing is, if you were to flip the chains and hang them off of the back, then you can hide the Chanel logo by wearing it backwards. The only thing is, I don't know if you'd care, but then the medallion will be backwards too. The next category of bags is shoulder bags that have a flap. The weird thing about the handbag world is when a shoulder bag has a flap, then it's called a flap bag. But if you call it a flap bag, all you know is that it has a flap, but you don't know if it's a shoulder bag. So that's kind of weird. Since I just went to Chanel, the only other Chanel I have is the classic flap bag. It's definitely not very useful. It also doesn't hold very much. Ironically, that means that if you buy a new one and you want to invest, use it as an alternative asset, if you can't even use it very much, it may be actually pretty easy to put in the closet. This is made out of jeans, like pants.
Here comes Wrangler, and he's one tough customer. He likes life lean and a fit that's clean, yeah. When he says jeans, he means Wrangler.
Wrangler's honest styles were born in the West to look their best anywhere, top to bottom.
And I like it. It doesn't look too much like a Chanel bag. It doesn't look like I bought it from Chanel. It looks cheaper, but in kind of a fun way. And so I like that it's not pretending to be a Chanel bag. I like that it was about $20, and it solves a lot of the problems that I had with the classic flap bag, actually. It's easy to use. I can squish it, I can fold it, I can put it anywhere I want. I sound like an infomercial. It actually looks pretty cool. It looks kind of hipster and a little Japan, and I have used it a lot. Again, this is another bag where the circles are actually clips. So sometimes I hang my Snoopy from it around here with a hook or a carabiner, and then I'll wear it like that, and then my Snoopy just kind of hangs out over here. This is a very ironic statement, but I'm really proud of myself that I found this jean bag without hearing about it from an influencer. Another bag that I found totally on my own is this Massimo duty bag. It has a magnet flap, and it just opens. It's so easy. But floppy bags, unfortunately, can fall over really easily, even on a table. I have to be pretty careful when I set it down onto surfaces, which is usually what one would do with a bag when they are done with it. I wanted something that you wouldn't really notice, but it still goes with my outfits. It did its job. I don't think anyone's ever commented on it in my life, and that's the way I want it. This is my please don't talk to me or notice me bag. That's a really long description. 2 more flap bags. This one is a heavy proenza schouler bag. I got it because of how it looks. This is the most leather rocker type bag I would ever get. I like that it's not as urban and grungy looking as the Balenciaga City bag. I also like that it doesn't really look like anyone else, and I think that's great. I need to use this more often. The last flap bag is my first nice bag ever. It is this Marc Jacobs hobo flap bag. I'm really proud of myself for choosing this to start with. The reason I found it is because one of my friends in college had it and I thought it was so cool. And when I got my first internship, I went to Saks Fifth Avenue in downtown Boston. So I used this all throughout college. To me, this was the prime time for Marc Jacob bags, the 2010s, when we had things like this. I think I'm gonna go to totes.
Now what's all that?
Just a few things for the folks back home.
Where'll we put it?
In here.
In there?
Sure, this is a totes expanding bag. Just watch.
Hey, we got it all in.
It's new, the Totes expanding bag, sturdy enough to take around the world or just for the weekend.
A totes expanding bag. A great gift.
And this is my small tote bag. I found it at Goodwill in Florida. It has a tiny pocket in the front that fits a phone. And then it has a zipper pocket, as well as 2 non-zipper pockets. This is my large tote bag, which is a Louis Vuitton Neverfull. I've done a video about this, and I put 200 pounds in this bag to see if it would break. Actually, to be specific, I put 80 pounds inside of the bag, and then I hung off the bag down here with my entire body. And it looks like it's pretty much normal. I basically pull it out when I need a huge tote bag when I'm traveling and I don't have a big enough carry-on. The last 3 bags are usually carried by hand. A lot of top-handle bags have a more classic style that I could imagine wearing when I'm 50, 70, 80. Hopefully I get to that point. And so the idea of being able to use something for a long time and being able to carry it later on when I can't carry things on my shoulder as much, or it's uncomfortable to carry weight on my shoulder, that's when the idea of getting a top handle bag is really appealing. I said all that stuff about things being classic, but my first bag example of a top handle bag is actually kind of trendy. And that is the toy size of the Givenchy Antigona. It comes with a strap, but I never use it. I think it looks better without it, but it's like the color of Chinese white rabbit milky candy, which a lot of East Asians grew up with, and that is probably 30% of why I got this one specifically, but at the time I was looking for a small white bag. The next one is in this vintage Hermes dust bag, so you can probably tell what it is.
It's 4,000.
I know.
And there's a waiting list.
I assumed.
5 years.
For a bag?
It's not a bag. It's a birkin.
I got it at fashionphile in New York City with my husband during a date, and I traded in a black birkin that was larger. I traded in a white Goyard, and then I traded in a Tiffany ring, and seemingly gave up a lot of things to get this.
It would be cheaper to buy cocaine and just run everywhere.
This is one of those things that I would love to pass down to a daughter or a granddaughter. Someone very lucky is getting this one day, hopefully. And the last thing I have to go outside and get. So the last one is not a Birkin, it's a Coach bag. As soon as I got this, I went to CVS, I bought black shoe polish, and I just rubbed the bag the night that I got it as much as I could, and then I darkened all of the stitching. And when the stitching is black or dark, as dark as possible against this, then this looks, in my opinion, 10 times more classic, more beautiful, and more elegant. This is the perfect thing. That is it. Those were my 12, maybe? Those were my 12 bags. No, those were my 13 bags. This is probably my last expensive bag for a pretty long time. I don't really think there's anything missing from here anymore. The only thing I could think of is, I guess, if I'm going to a super formal event, then it would be nice to have something a little smaller, but I think I would just not bring a bag at that point. That's pretty much it. That's my final handbag collection. We'll see how long that lasts.
I haven't done it yet. I may do it. Probably I will do it.
But I had a lot of fun talking to you about it, and I'm curious what you think. I'm curious if you think I'm missing anything in particular that I should look into. And as always, your comments and questions and feedback always generate interesting thoughts and discussions. So please feel free to let me know what you think. Talk to you soon. Bye.